Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Another shipping video live. I've got 41 items to ship, a little over $700. Not like the most amazing stuff, but there are some pretty unique sales here that I'm going to share with you guys. Please feel free to like the video, drop questions in the chat. I will do my best to answer everything as thorough as possible and stay on task. The goal is to get done before let's just say like an hour and a half. Let's go for like an hour and a half. So I've got the Venom. It's the sugar-free original flavor. Kind of rare to find in the stores these days. It's only $1. It's not too bad, 15 calories. So went to see the in-laws yesterday, and they live 2 hours and 45 minutes away. So we took Seth with us, of course, and we took Ragnar with us. We piled up my wife's RAV4 because the Civic is much too small to carry everybody. That's one thing I miss about the F-150 that I had. It's a lot of room. The Civic is good on gas and it's good for clothes and commuting, like in and out of parking spaces. But the truck did have its benefits. But the RAV4, it did all right. It did all right. I'll give you that. So we went there and it took an hour and 30 minutes just to get out of the house. Like we had most of the stuff packed, but like my son spit up a lot and then it was just a mess. So had a good time though. I'm glad to be back. I will say that. I'm glad to get back to work and to continue with the eBay business, buying, selling. I did stop at a thrift store on the way back into town because they live east of Dallas. And I decided to hit a Goodwill on the way back. And I think I got 11 items for like $42 because that's the one that has my it has $10 off if you spend a certain amount. And I wanted to ask you guys about this. What's up, Jack? I wanted to ask you guys about this. The roundup thing, right? Like they always ask, hey, do you want to round up? Do you want to donate $1 to this charity or whatever? And I told her no roundup for me. And she looked at me like offended. I think it's because I had the $10 bonus money or whatever, but she was just like, no roundup. And I said, no. I said, I buy and sell these clothes for a living. And I've explained this to the same lady before. She's kind of elderly. And she said, well, I believe in rounding up for our program. And I said, I've spent probably 10 to 15,000 in Goodwills last year across Texas. I said, doesn't that money help you guys out? And she goes, well, yeah, I mean, that helps keep the work center building open, like office, and it helps pay our salaries. And then I said, what? So I was like, I need to round up every time to help y'all's program. She's like, yeah. And I said, maybe they need to take some of that money and pass it on to the program. Like, why? And then I said, I probably shouldn't have said this, but I was like, maybe save that roundup for the people spending like $100 or less in Goodwill a year. And she didn't really like that. But I mean, I don't think she understood the scope of what I was trying to explain to her. Like, I'm like your best customer. The light looks like it's coming in pretty hard right here. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Are y'all roundup? Are y'all roundup people? Or do you not round up? Let's turn the light off. You see how the back right here like lightens up with the light and then darkens? So yeah, I need to get better at lighting. But anyway, let me know the roundup opinion. Are you guys round up? Do you round up every time? Do you round up if it's less than 10 cents? Because sometimes it's like, like $79.01, and they want you to round up that 99. And I've only round up twice, and that's because I truly believed in the people working there that were trying to like do the right thing, like fix their life and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't round up. I'm not the guy. Oh, this shirt's dirty. Ragnar. You can blame all dirty shirts on Ragnar and Seth. This first item, it's a Hurley board short swim trunks. Sold for 15. Hang on, 6, 9. Yeah, $15 shipped. Really not great for the Hurley board shorts. It was just a plain blue one from last summer that I bought. It's important to get these sales though, because you have to keep turning the inventory. Unless you have unlimited space and unlimited time to wait for all the money. I do not, and do not want to keep these forever. Man, yeah, it feels a little too, like they call it burning, like the light's burning on you. But then you see the light back here. Let's try to like lower this light. I do have plans. I may get an office space downtown. And if I get the office space downtown, what I'm going to use for it is just a YouTube studio. And I may have my employee have a photo section. I don't know the prices on like the size of the units, but it's a downtown building where I'll be like pretty much elbow to elbow next to some like really good connectors in my city. And that's what I'm trying to do to build up the thing. So if I can get it for like less than $400 a month, maybe. And what's cool about that downtown building is you can actually paint and do the floors to your office like however you want. So it's pretty cool. I'm trying to like. It's kind of hard to get a hold of the person though that does all that. She you can sign up for like a I don't know, like a tour or a visit to see the prices and stuff. But I signed up for that yesterday. So maybe this week she'll get with me. But yeah, I would like to have a studio so I wouldn't have to reset up everything and wouldn't have like all this in the back. I mean, the clothes rack looks okay, but you know, 93.81. So this is Dickies mechanic shirts. I pick up the Dickies mechanic shirts in the bigger sizes. I don't like to spend more than $3. This one I got for $1 and it sold for 15 shipped. So not great, but the Dickies shirts, and this was an XL. It wasn't like a bigger tall. And it's just plain blue, but a lot of guys, mechanics, wear these work shirts. And yeah, I mean, I think you can buy them new from Walmart for like $20, 15, $20, but maybe they don't want to go to Walmart to buy the items. Like another thing, I was talking to my friend last week, Brian Roning. He's a friend of mine, fellow clothing reseller. He said he had to buy some blank CDs because he has a Sega Dreamcast, and I guess you can burn different games onto the disc and then play them on the Dreamcast, something like that. And he said he actually had to go into Walmart to look for it. And he said it took him so long to figure out where it was. He's like, dude, this is ridiculous. I haven't had to walk in and actually find an item in so long because everything's just delivered to your doorstep, you know? And I thought it was pretty funny because I was on the phone with him and he had to like ask the person. He's like, hey, I'm looking for this. And they were telling him like the wrong thing. And he's like, nah, it's got to be just like a blank CD. Probably took him like 35 minutes just to get that one thing. Jack says, you are a reseller. We don't mind seeing the goods you're selling. You don't need an office. Mostly you don't need to spend money. You don't need to spend. Yeah. The thing about the office is like, I'm trying to establish a location for people to bring me items that I'll buy from them. So I don't think it's going to work to just meet up in the parking lot, or I don't want them coming to my house. That's what the office space does. And it also is like, if I do expand the business bigger, they have some big units where like you can put all the clothes in it, like the storage racks. And if we have a second kid, when we do have one, we're going to need both bedrooms if we stay in this house, which we may be going to another one. But like, it's kind of like, it wouldn't make much sense unless it brought money in, right? And if I could have even a few people meet me, you know, in the month, that could probably, those items would kind of pay for the spot because, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So you're right. I need to see the prices. I don't want to just spend money to spend money, and I don't want an office just for like, oh yeah, I got a business office, and then I don't even go there. It is a 12-minute drive from my house, but it's in like the heart of downtown, and you know, our downtown's pretty cheap compared to other downtowns. So I don't know, just something I'm thinking about. Just something I'm thinking about. Jack says, have you ever met and bought clothes? Have you ever met and bought clothes? I've met up with a couple people. So whenever I would go yard sailing, I would pass out the card, and then occasionally some people would call me back, and they would say, "Hey, come look at my clothes." So then I go meet them, and I look at their clothes, and it might not be anything I can buy, and I'd rather them just do the travel to me, and then I go downstairs from my office and say, "Okay, yeah, there's nothing here," or I'll take all of it for only 10, or I'll pay you 40 or 100, however good of stuff they have. But yeah, it's the thing is, if people in my town knew there was a place to go see if they could get money for their clothes before donating it, I think if enough people like understood that existed, and then they told people like, hey, yeah, I got $20 or I got $40, like, yeah, he's shelling out cash. And then I'm in like a business place where it's safe, you know, it's not like they have security, and it's not like just meeting somebody out in a parking lot. So yeah, I don't know. I think there's some legs to it. I think it can work, but I want to be next to the people who can spread the word, the other local businesses, because we're real big about local businesses in this town, and I'm trying to just break into that scene a little bit and talk, you know, just kind of like talk and get to know people, and you get some experience with like leasing a place or whatever, because I've never really done that. And I don't know, if I had a YouTube studio, I mean, the YouTube money might make enough money to pay for that monthly rent. So that's something to think about too. It's not like the most money, but it's okay, you know. All the views and comments and likes and all that stuff, it really does help, and I do appreciate that. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a pair of Wrangler camouflage cargo shorts. It's one of my favorite things to pick up because people really discard the Wrangler brand. I mean, I know there's a lot of crappy Wrangler clothes, but the Wrangler cargo camo shorts, those were men's like 38. They sold for, it was 9 plus 9, so 18 shipped, and it's under a pound. And those sell all the time. You can typically find them on like the dollar day or like, half off. I don't know if y'all go to stores with deals, but I don't. I make sure to go to the stores with the best deals because the brand knowledge and stuff and the styles, a lot of people will kind of pass on that stuff. So like you wouldn't want to pay full price for that at like, I don't know, $6. But if you pay a dollar or $2 or $3, like that little bit of dollar, the $3, it makes a big difference whenever you're doing a lot of clothes. So um, and that's an easy like garage sale pickup. People just love the camo cargo look. Like I'm actually I'm actually wearing camo cargo shorts right now. I found them. They're American Eagle classic size 32 is what I wear. And I was so happy when I found them. I've been selling clothes for a little while and I've not found one that fit proper. So this one's just a Banana Republic linen shirt. And I need to check um, when I'm shipping items, I like to go open another eBay page and I go to like the one where the bulk shipping is because sometimes it combines items that it doesn't on the other screen. And I'm really annoyed that it does that. And also, it says this new packing slip tool. I guess eBay wants you to put a packing slip in each item, which I mean, eBay wants us to do a lot of things, but I do the best I can. Jack says, yeah, I don't know. I'd say stay where you are until you have to make a change. You just said you're having more kids, so just find a house that fits your needs with a basement and shed. You can do a studio. Yeah, there's not really any basements in Texas, but the thing about it is like we may be gifted a house, in the future, but it's buying a house for is kind of, we just refinanced to a 15-year lease, so we're gonna pay this house off one way or another. But the I don't know. I don't know why you don't like the idea of an office. And yeah, I definitely want to keep everything as cheap as possible. But the kids down the line, it's not this summer, but next summer we're gonna try to have them about 2.5 years apart. Yeah, Jack says everyone else sleeping. I think, yeah, I don't know. I think Jack, just keep carrying the chat to the chat, Jack. Like you be the one to spearhead the chat room. I mean, I don't mind. I guess a lot of people are working. Right now, Texas, it is like 50, 58, 1 degrees, and it's like drizzly and rainy. So like not a good day for Ragnar to be out in the mud. That's the worst types of days. And then it's not a good day for Seth because he's really kind of cranky, and I'm sure he'd love to go on a walk, but it's really cold. We could probably put a jacket on him or like a blanket. So maybe we'll try that after. But yeah, it's kind of a gloomy day. So maybe everyone's just kind of like sitting inside, like feeling really gloomy. Patricia says 37 watching, only 7 likes, show some more love. Yeah, it should be like an instant like, but a lot of people don't think about pressing it. I forget sometimes too. I don't even like my own videos anymore. I used to be the only one liking my videos back in the day. Uh, what are your total sales for 2022? Gross number was 191,000 Edens. I almost hit 200K, but my son came along and really slowed things down. But that's okay because I wanted him to come. So yeah. So yeah, this thing wanted me to combine some orders because the other sheet doesn't on eBay. Like this is the bulk shipping. I had one combined order. I had two combined. Okay, here it is. And this is exactly why I did this. 86.92. Okay, no, this one's not in it. Ah, man, it's kind of tricky just making sure that I have like you don't want to pack an order single and then have it combined with another one and you didn't know. That would be the worst. But I think we're good on this one. So it's 10 ounces. This is a Banana Republic linen. So anytime you see the 100% linen, I always go for it. Depending on the brand, but like this one, it didn't sell for a lot of money. It sold for like 14 shipped. But maybe because the size wasn't very big, or possibly I don't know, maybe Banana Republic isn't that good. Banana Republic is a tricky one. There's just so many out there, but there is some money in Banana Republic. It's just tough to identify. What a Flipper said, it's nice here in Florida. Isn't it always nice in Florida unless there's storms? Lisa and friends, hey there. Nice rain on the farm over here in East Texas. Yes, I click like on your videos when I watch. Sales were slow the last 10 days on eBay. What part of East Texas are you in? I was just in Terrell at the Jubilee, And I don't want to call it the terrible Jubilee, but it was it's a fair. I don't know. It was okay. I mean, I wouldn't say it was terrible, but it was okay. My wife got sick though. She has a gluten intolerance, and usually at fairs like food trucks, there's nothing she can eat because nothing is totally gluten free. And we went to this um, tamale truck, and she said, "Hey, is it because corn? Corn she can eat and stuff." She's like, "Is it gluten free?" And then they said, "Yeah, yeah, it actually is." And then she ate it and got she gets bloated, and then she has stomach pains like cramps and stuff from the gluten. So that kind of ruined the rest of the evening and this morning and stuff. So I think she's feeling a little better now, and it just stinks because we're very limited to what we can eat when we travel and when we go out. Usually it's like Chick-fil-A or Chipotle. They have gluten-free stuff. King Servant says sales have been super slow for me as well. I've had some super solid days, then almost nothing. Yeah, I don't know. Like I definitely had a slower sales day yesterday. I mean, it was like a little bit slower than usual, and then today's pretty slow. But that's because Friday I only listed 10 items, and then Saturday I listed 0 items. And I didn't have any drafts set up, so um, yeah, I'm not too concerned about it. Like money's like I don't know. Money is just one of those things. It comes and goes, right? Like I'm not too concerned with like always listing the same amount or like I was my first year full or my second year full time because I said, okay, I know I want to do this super consistent. Or no, not second year. The first calendar year full time. Let's put it that way. So these are 2 Magellan 3XLs and see how they're kind of big. So I'm gonna go like this with them and I'm gonna try to fit it in this one. And if it doesn't fit, I'll have to go to the legal flat rate. I think it'll fit though. It looks kind of like that. And you got to have some strong fingers and forearms, which mine are strong enough. This is driving me nuts, dude. I just feel like I'm glowing. I need to figure out the lighting situation. It's kind of tough to figure out the lighting, mainly because I have to reset it up every time. So yeah, got it. So we're going to put some tape on it. And there we go. Not bad. But yeah, so anyway, 0 items yesterday, 10 items the day before. And then today, maybe I'll list like 40 items or 50, it'll take a few hours. And that'll kind of balance it out because some days before I had like really high sales day. So like, even though it was low on Friday and then today's kind of low, like really doesn't matter. Yeah, what a flipper smashes the like button. Yeah, way to go, man. Okay, so we're going to put this in put a label on it. Denise Mack, how many do you usually list a day? If I decide to list, usually 30 at least. If I'm busy, usually 20. But like Friday, I just had a weird day. I did some other stuff Friday, and it just I don't know, kind of got away from me. It's tough when you have an employee and she can knock out photos like really easily. Then when you run out of those photos, you have to pick up the camera and start doing it yourself. And you're like, ugh, like I hate doing photos. I do have a lot of photos on my computer. I just didn't get them all pumped out with the listings. This one's probably the coolest item that sold. When I first picked it up, I thought it was going to be like an amazing, amazing item. This is RLX. And it's got ladybugs all over it. So I listed it for like $50 or something, $60, but it sold. I sent an offer. It sold for $27.99 plus $8.99. So still pretty good money, but usually crazy stuff like that sells for good money. But Denise Mack says, how many? Oh yeah, how many do you list a day? Yeah, so ideally 30. I mean, whenever I did the 191K last year, I did 30 for the first 3 months, and then in April I did 35 until November whenever my son came, and then I like missed a couple days, like I did like 20, 30, and then this year it's been a little sporadic, but like when I decide to list, I try to do like 40. I don't know. I try to do as many as I can, and now that I have an employee, like you can see the racks, I try to make sure she has enough photos that she won't run out as she's doing them, so that she can do a bunch of polos in a row, a bunch of long sleeve button ups, like not mixing up shorts. You can see all the shorts on the bottom. I've been listing a bunch of shorts, board shorts, cargo shorts. And then the top shelf is items that are a little trickier to list. Like I have to price a little bit differently. Most of the ones she's listing, they're going to be like 25 shipped is about what they go for. So, but I have to go through each one of hers to ensure that the listing's correct, because sometimes like she's still learning. She's only done like 3 or 4 days of work. So she's coming in this week though, Tuesday and Friday. So pretty happy to have her. Randy with an I is the best. 240 JZ. Hey man, what's up? How do you list stain and holes in your clothes, or do you redonate them or throw them out? So people always, okay, so eBay has a rule that says you cannot sell stained items. It's similar to the washing one. Like, I wonder how many people wash every single article of clothing, because I don't wash every single one. I wash some of them. Now, it says you can't list stained items. Like, I list stained items. I know Tech lists stained items. Like, a lot of people list stained items on eBay. Here's the rule. So if it's more than 2 stains, like 2 things you should point out, I don't list it. Unless it's like a vintage piece, that can allow that many stains. But if it's like a more modern piece, if it's more than 2, I don't list it. And I have the video on it, I think, but like if the stain's on the front, like you do the profile shot and then say, this is the stain, then the second photo, I put a pair of scissors, the point to the stain, and then that's in the second slot. And then I make sure to put that in the condition. If it's on the back, I do the first photo, and then I actually have to move them around in the listing. But once the photos are done, then the second photo is the stain on the back, but then the third photo is the back shot, so that they kind of see like, okay, there's the profile photo. Oh, what's the stain? And then maybe they go back to the profile photo and they're like, oh, I don't see it. And then they go to the third photo and they're like, oh, it's right there. So they don't have to click all the way to the end, because what happens is people usually only look at a couple photos. And just make sure to note it. And I just put like stain on front, stain on back, hole on front, hole on back, stain on sleeve, like that kind of stuff. I try to keep it really basic. I don't try to say like, this stain came 2 years ago from coffee that spilt while I was driving. I don't really give a whole story about it. I'm just like, here's a hole. Even if it's a pinhole, I'll say hole. If it's a giant hole, I'll say hole. I don't say like, because one time I used to say small hole on front or small stain on front, and people would say, that's not a small stain. And I'm like, dude, come on now. Like, so I just pretty much leave it up for interpretation, hole on front. And then a lot of times people say like, oh, that's not even that big of a stain. Like if they get it, they're like, oh, that's not, or they ask, is the stain you're pointing to like right there near the collar? And I'm like, yes. They go, that's not even that big a stain. I'm like, well, it's still a flaw, So, and then you ask, how do you price them? So I usually take $3 off for each flaw. So if the item is supposed to go for like $15.99 plus shipping, I'll price it at $12.99. If it's supposed to go for $12.99, I price it at $9.99. If it's like very few items, I price it $9.99 plus shipping. That's like $18 or $19. If it has too many flaws, I don't like to price it lower than $16.99, because that's, $6.99 plus $8.99. That's like $15 shipped. So like, I don't like to go lower than that. I'll probably just get rid of the item at that point. And those are usually like your t-shirts, your tank tops, like items that just don't sell for that much money. Yeah, $3, I kind of drop down to the next tier. All right, let's get the label on this ladybug golf shorts. Pretty cool. This is another bulk order. He got 3 linen shirts, and I think he got one more that I gotta like, either he added it in later after I pulled the items. Let's see. So yeah, he added another one. I just don't know if I got it or if it came later. So $569, $753. And this one was $68.88. So $128.23. That's going to be at the bottom. So I'm going to put that to the side for now. Sounds good. Thank you for your help. Yeah, no problem. 240 JZ. That's why I like coming on live, because I can directly interact and go back and forth, rather than like whenever I'm busy doing other stuff, trying to respond on Instagram. I don't mind doing it. It's just, it might not be as fast. It might not be as clear, because, talking is easier to communicate faster, That's why I always call people on the phone. A lot of people don't talk on the phone. And whenever I was in high school, like we didn't, it didn't have like Google Maps and stuff. At least I think if we did, I didn't know about it. But it'd always be you'd have to print out directions to like the house party or whatever with what do they call it? MapQuest. Was it MapQuest where you printed out the directions? And I'm really bad about like knowing my town and knowing like where to go. whenever I was younger. So what I would do is people would try to text, and you have T9 and you're trying to text, and then I'm like, dude, just call. Like, call me on the phone and tell me where to go, and then I can figure out where to go. So nowadays, people really don't like to call. They really don't like to talk on the phone. And I'm like, why not, man? It's so much easier. Maybe I just like to hear myself talk, and that's why I like talking on the phone. So, but yeah, my son's been kind of on one today. So after this, I'm probably gonna have to hang out with him for like an hour. Not like I have to hang out with him. Like I want to hang out with him, but like I want to do some business too. I do work just about every day. I work every day, at least a few hours every day. And I really haven't done any work today because I was trying to just handle him this morning. I mean, I don't know. He just wanted to scream and do crazy stuff. And I was like, dude, what's wrong with you today? And yeah, it's a balance. I definitely have to give my wife like a break, and I think her mom's coming over though for an hour. So maybe I can get like my parents to come over. It is nice living near your parents and in-laws. It's just her dad lives 2 hours and 45 minutes away. So let's see. 240J says 240JZ says, since no one else is asking questions, I'll shoot. I'm listing 3 items a day. I'm trying to build up my draft to start 5 a day. What should I be making money-wise at $3 a day to 5 a day, then 10 a day? I mean, are you selling clothes? I mean, like if you're selling, depends on the category. Depends on your profit margin. Like dude, that's a really tough question. Yeah, you're selling clothes. So with me, I make like $6 to $7, usually about $6.50, I think was last year, but let's just say $7 profit per item, right? So some of these items that I'm not even talking about are like break-even items or like $1 to $5 profit items. But then like the Ladybug shorts, that's probably like a $23, $25 profit. So it averages out, So like if I sell 10 items, then I'm making like $70 profit. So, I mean, 3 a day, like, I mean, I don't know, 21 bucks. It just depends on your profits. But then some people don't list cheaper items like I do. I list cheap items because most people spending money on the internet, especially if they've never spent money on the internet, are not spending $100, $200, $300. They're spending like $20 or $30. And that's why I think it's easier to scale with that range, 21 to like $20 to $30 shipped is easier. But when you're listing your pair of cinch jeans for like 45 or 48, and you're like, dude, these jeans, they deserve to be priced that much. Maybe, I mean, you may be right, but you're probably not going to get the sale anytime soon because I'm selling all mine for 25, So it's tough, man. It's tough to kind of determine. You have to just like, look at what your profit is per item, I guess, kind of do the percentages. No one designed to. Do you still list 25 listings every day, or do you take a day or two off? I post items every day. Like yesterday, I took a day off because I didn't do anything with eBay yesterday. It was the whole day, but we were out of town and stuff. And then the day before, I listed like 10 items. I probably should have done more, but I filmed a video and then my mic was way far away from like where I was, and all the audio was way too low. So I had to I pretty much burnt like 45 minutes doing that. And then I think I sourced, I don't know. Yeah, I sourced. So yeah, Friday was kind of like not like a lazy day, but I could have done more. I don't really take days off. I usually work at least 4 hours a day on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday, at least 4 hours, if not like 6 or 8. Just depends because, I mean, depends what's going on with my wife and son and like her family and my family. So sometimes my dad's watching the football games or baseball games and I go over there. So yeah. All right, let me go. I got to continue while I talk. Jerry says, I'm watching, but I was busy doing something, so I could not comment till now. All good, my man. All good. This one is that Wrangler Rancher. Man, hold on. No, it's not the Wrangler Rancher. It's just a Wrangler long sleeve button up. And this is like a break-even item. So sometimes these do well, these nice Wrangler pattern ones. It says 20X on it. But like, you want to go for the George Strait ones. That's what I like to get. These ones don't do as well. It's more of like a break-even item, which is fine. It's kind of like a mental note. A lot of the times too, like to learn what doesn't sell, you got to sell what doesn't sell to like figure out, okay, don't sell that one. It didn't sell for much money. And then sometimes you get them so cheap, you kind of just list them anyway and realize like, okay, that's not enough money. But everything changes when your speed increases, and especially when you get help too. Because some people buy multiple items that are cheap too. I mean, I get a few bulk orders every once in a while. And God, these women's jeans, man. This is some women's Levi's. I think they're the 518s. Yeah, not good. James Steiner, what's your opinion on free shipping versus charge for shipping? Considering you're selling lower dollar items. Yeah. So I used to do free shipping when I started my eBay account, and I was like a diehard free shipping guy. And what changed it for me was the other refinements had mentioned if somebody orders an item, which is absolutely true. Say they order something and they like I charge $9 for shipping, and even though the shipping for like this package is $7.91 or $7.60 for the jeans, say they say the jeans don't fit, right? Or say they say, oh, I didn't mean to buy it or whatever. Then when you say, okay, send the item back, and they send it back, you only give them the price of the item. So they paid $4 for these jeans plus $8.99. So they're all in for like $13. Not a profitable jean here. But what I'm saying is if they have any excuse for why they don't want it anymore, like buyer's regret, you don't have to send the shipping back. So I don't give the $9 back. I keep the $8.99. If you have free shipping, eBay will want you to give all the money back. You don't get to keep any of it. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe you can send a partial refund if you do free shipping, but this is how I've been doing it, and it saves a lot of money. Because when you sell 9,000, 10,000 items in a year, like you're gonna have a lot of returns. And now if this was truly, say this is a size 9. Say the actual size in here is like a 12, and I just put the wrong tag size, and they say, hey, this is the wrong size. I give them 100% refund. If I made the mistake, I give them 100% refund. But if they just change their mind on it, and the fit thing is like, sometimes I give the return on the fit depending on the item, but a lot of times people just don't look at the measurements, or they just don't want the item and they just select doesn't fit. So it's maybe not the best business practice. Don't like follow exactly what I say, because sometimes it's not right. I mean, I kind of do this. I do it the way I think it makes sense. And my blocked buyers list is like 100 people deep, because there's you'll just run into more and more people that are just kind of like just angry all the time. And I'm like, dude, especially the ones that want the discounts on the discounts on the discounts. I'm like, dude, just don't buy the shirt. You obviously don't have the funds to buy them. Or like I'm on a fixed income, I need this. I'm like, dude, then you don't need the shirt. Like, it's crazy, man. Lisa and friends, Pearl Snap Western shirts sell well for me. Got to make sure they aren't cheap made Walmart brands. Also do well with wool and Pendleton button out. See, I've sold the Walmart ones, the ones that say like Wrangler. There's certain Wrangler ones that are Walmart ones. I've sold those too, especially the big and tall sizes. And they sell for as much as they sell for new, because the person just doesn't want to go into Walmart. Like I was saying about my friend Brian trying to look for some CD case, some CDs to burn at Walmart. Like people just don't want to do the work to do it, I'm going to refresh this and see if it changes. Oh, okay. No, it didn't. I never understand that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you can sell some of it, not all Walmart clothes, but the Wrangler one is kind of special. Like you can sell that one if it's a desirable color size, it can sell. But then the vintage Wrangler ones sell really well too. Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's hard to tell which Wranglers are from Walmart and which ones, because I don't think Wrangler was sold at Walmart like way back, like 10, 15, 20 years ago. I don't know if they were selling it or not. But yeah, I've seen those. And that kind of goes to saying, like, maybe look at some retail places. Like I went into a Marshall's yesterday. It's my wife and mother-in-law wanted to go to Marshall's, and I was just looking at the brands, the ones I see, like Denim and Flower, like all these random brands that I see at the thrift store. I've never seen them at the retails and see what they're actually priced at. So it was kind of good, just to kind of get an idea. Like, I don't know, where is that? So yeah, let's answer a few more. And it looks like Tux left $5 super chat. I'll get to you in a second, my man. I really appreciate it, though. Troy just started the beginning of this month and started with free shipping. Took a bath on a couple items and learned that it helps prevent you from losing money. Yeah, for sure. 240 JZ. How do you take a paycheck or pay help? Not telling your money, but say $100 when you withdraw. That's how a portion is your pay. What portion goes to taxes and back for more goods sold? Right now, I do $100 would be 40% of my pay, then 60% left over. I break 30% of that for taxes and the last 30% to reinvest back in the item. Okay, so I use a CPA because I get nervous. I don't want to mess up my taxes and have Uncle Sam coming down after me. But I have a LLC. It's the Taylor Exchange, but it's a different name. It's a little bit different because that was taken. There's a pawn shop in Michigan, you guys, that has Taylor Exchange and all the stuff for it. So my DBA is Taylor Exchange, pretty much. Now, I am an employee. I run an S corporation. I'm an employee of Taylor Exchange. So I pay myself X amount of dollars per month, and that gets taxed the full tax, right? Like Social Security, Medicare, and obviously, I think that's it. Yeah. So that's 15.3%. Now, the money I make past that is shielded from Social Security, Medicare, and I'm not a tax professional. Don't ruin this video, YouTube. They sometimes do stuff weird like that. So, and then, yeah, you can kind of think like 25% or 30% goes towards taxes on your sales. So you're saying, how do I portion it? Okay. And then say like we're building a carport, right? And we had a big tax return. So we're going to take money out of this account for the carport. It's like $5,200. That money is not going to be taxed as like income tax. It's like a different little like nest of money. And that's how all these people get away with like not paying taxes. They have much more complicated ones set up than mine. But I don't know how else to tell you that other than like talk to a CPA and they'll tell you all the ins and outs. But if I pay my employee, she's actually on payroll just like I am. So she's a second employee. I pay my CPA X amount of dollars to run payroll to pay me. And then I pretty much just cut her checks. I handwrite the check. You can do other ways, I guess, direct deposit. You just need to have some type of paper trail for that check. And then she's now on payroll, so she gets taxes taken out of hers. That's pretty much how that goes. James Steiner, do you sell on other platforms? No, I do not. Lisa and Friends, oh yes, big and tall sells well. Okay. And then Tuxedo Leo. I guess it's Tuxedo Leo. That's cool. Kind of rings. $5 super chat. Thank you, my man. You're the second person to send me money on super chats. I appreciate it a lot. You answered my question. I was going to ask what's your average profit was. I've learned a lot from your channel, so I just want to say thanks. Hey, dude, I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate everyone out there that watches, that says things like that, or the good ones I like too are like, you told me about a brand and I sold it and made some money. So yeah, average profit per item last year was $6.50. I'd say I'm doing better this year because I know more about clothes than I did last year. But prices went up on everything. So like maybe it's going to be the same. Maybe it's not quite going to be as good. But with my employees' help, like she pumps out items pretty fast. So thanks, man. King Servant, do you ever double bag items just in case, only if the buyer requests it? On one or two occasions, somebody said, hey, I really need this to be waterproof. Can you please make sure that happens? And then I'll actually seal up the plastic bag. I'll take it off and then I'll put tape over it and stuff. And I don't know if I double bag that one. I felt like that was sufficient. But yeah, if somebody really sends the message, now the big companies that say like, please put the tracking number on the outside and do this, like, or maybe they're reselling it to somebody else. Like, I don't go that crazy. I mean, I know what they're up to. I know what they're up to, and I don't feel like pandering to all their needs. This one, 5605. This is one of the ones. Oh, here we go. Whew. Sometimes I can't read like numbers. I don't know. Yeah, if it depends how the buyer requests it, right? If it's authentic or if it's an automated message, everything kind of changes when that happens. Goodbye, Venom. Thank you for your deliciousness. I'm a big fan of Venom, man. Big fan of Venoms. I like Monsters better, but they're more expensive. Okay, no one designed to. Any business expense is a tax write-off. Carport. So when you run an S corporation, according to my CPA, because I'm not a tax professional, you can no longer take home deductions when you have a corporation. You could take a business. So say I get the office right downtown. I was talking to Jack about that in the chat. Say I get the office, then I can deduct some of that because it's now my business that's making money and stuff. But you cannot take the home deduction if you have a corporation. But you can take miles, eBay fees, shipping, labels. If I buy something for the business, like the poly bags, I can deduct all that. So yeah, there's quite a bit of deductions. Miles is my biggest deduction because I drive like 325 miles on my trip out of town every week. So I had like 22,000 miles at like 62.5 cents or 61.5 cents, whatever it was bumped up to. So that was like, I think a $23,000 deduction was the miles deduction. So that was awesome. And that's why I get the CPA to make sure that I get all that deductions and they tell me. I could probably do it myself, but like the time it takes for them to do it as opposed to me doing it, I'd rather just pay them. I ended up paying them, I think it was $750 all in last year. And that was, they had to set up the S Corp. So that was another couple, they do $50 fees for certain forms. So without having it set up, I had to pay that. And then I had the employee last year for like 2 weeks. So I had to pay a little fee for that. So there's the little things, but once it's set up, it's really not bad. And then he did my family's taxes too, like my wife's and stuff. And they're good people. I don't mind paying them. And they've helped me a lot. They've helped me a lot when it comes to stuff. So I'm okay. Shelling it out. Okay. Troy says, how do you decide what to reinvest and what to pay yourself? So the way my wife and I do it is we divvy up the bills, right? So whatever our bills money is, let's just say it was 10 grand. It's not 10 grand, but let's say it was 10 grand. Perfect world, she pays 5 grand and I pay 5 grand, right? So we're 50-50 on the bills. We're going Dutch on the bills. Usually I end up paying like a little more, but I make a little more. So the money that I make after my check to myself that goes towards bills, the money made after is now the business money, right? So like that stays in the cash flow account. And then when the cash flow account gets really high, I decide to deploy that money into something, like house upgrade, maybe a business upgrade, or maybe I just put it in another account. I don't know, like you buy a car, like just different things you want to do with that money. So like the idea is you keep the cash flow account because you'll come to a point where you buy the same number of items a week. Say I spend 1,000 a week on inventory, so 4,000 a month on inventory. It's not like the next month I'm going to spend 8,000. But if I come across a deal where I can spend a few thousand, I have that money to deploy. It's more of like, do I save any money and reinvest in like the stock market? Like kind of some, but not a lot. I don't really believe in that as much because I don't see myself stopping work, even as an old man, like 70, 80 years old. I'll still kind of operate a business or have somebody operating it for me. Like I don't think it's just going to be like zero work, you're done, go to the beach and sip pina coladas. Like I don't think I can do that. I don't think I'm wired that way. Some people might be. I think it'd be kind of boring too. Now maybe traveling will be fun, but dude, traveling is kind of stressful, and sleeping in other locations other than your house, that's kind of stressful too. You don't get like the same sleep sometimes, So I don't know, but we're definitely going to do a lot of stuff with our son. We want Seth to see a lot, travel the country, and hopefully maybe send him to Panama for a month to live with my family there. Maybe he'll come back speaking a bunch of Spanish. 240 JZ says, okay, I'm not that big, so I'm making small amount of money, $100 here and there. How would I break off my $100 pay? And since I don't write myself a paycheck. Whenever I started, I itemized everything. Every item I spent, I put like the date I bought it, how much I spent, even where I got it to see what thrift stores I was getting most of my items from. And then say I made $10 profit, I would take $2.50 and put it in another account. 25% went into a savings, and that was going to be for taxes. That's how I did it. And then I just kept the money there. Like ideally, when you start this business, you don't want it. Like when I had my full-time job that I mentioned in the last video, I did not take money from eBay to pay my bills. Like I was able to pay my bills and stuff. You want to just keep it churning and growing and stacking, and then have the money for the taxes and make sure to pay your taxes. A lot of people don't like to pay taxes for some reason. I mean, I get the reason, right? But like, we have it pretty good here. You know, the country's pretty good country with all the problems. It's a good country. Okay. Like ideally the taxes are going towards a good place, but there are a couple potholes around my neighborhood that I'd like fixed. Cinemaki, yo, what's up, Taylor? What's up, man? How's it going? The higher standard. Let's read your comment after I get this label on. Should have got a glass of water. 46 minutes in. Oh, okay. Let's keep it going. And these items I'm packing are not my better sellers. They're my 75% off items. So a lot of these are less than $5 profit. Some of them break even. You found 20 Brooks Brothers dress shirts size 19. They seem much thicker than the 16 to 18. I usually don't grab that many of the same without selling history, but figured worth a shot at $3.50. I heard this about like the size 20 neck. There's very human beings that wear that size shirt. So hopefully you find a big guy who's in the office and buys up like maybe 5 or 10 of those. But I wouldn't have bought those even as cheap as they are. If it was like a 3XL with the casual size and not the 19 size, I probably would have. But yeah, it's a bit risky, but ideally you get that buyer that wants to buy them all and maybe it'll pay off, but they're going to sit probably for a little while. It's not bad. I mean, it's not like a terrible one, but it's just, that's how I look at it. Okay, let's get this one. 48.28. Okay. 240 JZ. I don't have an LLC yet. I don't even have storage yet. Yeah. Because you're stacking 30% of my $100 in a folder for taxes at the end of the year. Yeah, that's good. You'll be covered. Because once you do the deductions, you'll see that you're probably plenty good. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't worry about an LLC. I mean, I honestly wouldn't have gotten an LLC for a while, but I watched some YouTube videos about it and was weighing my options. And you can't do the S corporation tax filing without a LLC. So once you make over a certain amount, it's better to do it. And the certain amount is like it's the average pay for your job in your town. So you could say that my job is a retail manager. So whatever a retail manager makes at any department store, that's kind of like the average amount that you can pay yourself. I can't make, I can't make 60 grand and pay myself 10 grand and say, that's my salary. The 50K is getting shielded. You can't do that. That's cheating. You can pay yourself what the average amount is for your job. So if I lived in like New York, I couldn't pay myself what I'm paying myself now because somebody in New York's making more money because of the cost. At least that's my understanding from the videos and the CPA. So not a tax professional. Don't listen to me. That's pretty much it though. Let's see. No One Design says, if you use the carport for your business, you can write it off. But yes, you can't write off personal use. See, I just don't know because the CPA said anything that has to do with my house doesn't count because of the S corporation filing. Like if it was a business location, that's different. So I'll ask him for sure. So thank you for the heads up, but I don't think it's going to work. Brett says, hello. Do you have a video that shows how you started your inventory system? You want to see the old inventory or how I started the new system? Answer that and I'll let you know. But I have a video that says how I store 5,000 items, but I don't know if that's the video you're looking for. And it stinks when you have to, oh, the new one is fine. Yeah, there's a video, Brett. I don't know if you've seen it. And if you have seen it and want to see something else, like a more detailed video, I can go a little more in detail about it. But essentially, whatever your old system is, leave it there and then start with the boxes. You can see back there, there's one of them. Start with those boxes, or even not that size, but a type of box filing system, and start putting all your new listings in there and then sell off your old ones. And then now you have your new system started. So let's see. I got a little lost. No one designs. Do you use accrued or cash method for your inventory when you do taxes? That was one of the main reasons I got a CPA. No one designs, because I'm not really sure. So I don't know the difference between the two, and I don't really want to I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about taxes, because eBay or YouTube can demonetize videos if you're doing stuff like that. And I think I did enough with the disclaimers, but I would just ask some of the CPAs out there what you think, or even YouTube. I'm sure there's other YouTubers that'll talk about it, but I'm just not one. I do know Nikki Nook Thrift. Her name's Sarah. She's a full-time reseller. She has a smaller YouTube channel, but her husband's a tax guy. So you could maybe get her ear and ask him how they do it, because that's a tax person married to a reseller. So that might be something. That might be something. Let's see. Let me get this one on. Just a label. Just the label. Get the labels on. Cinemaki says, just got out of work listening to your stream on my way home. That's awesome. Yeah, I listen to the Trash to Cash podcast on my way to Dallas every day or every week. They get me through an hour and a half. So it's tough whenever you're driving. I mean, it's crazy too how distracted driving is now. Because I can drive pretty well, but I need to have something on the radio or on my phone or just something. Here's the first okay sale. So this is a much older item. You can see $3,673. This is the Ralph Lauren chino. I went super heavy into Polo Ralph Lauren pants and shorts. And I was looking at it, they got the Andrew cut, all the different names, the Tyler and all that stuff. This one is a 46B and it sold for 10 plus shipping. So $18.99 all in, and it's definitely over £1. I got out of it though. I mean, it's very difficult. I would say the flat front ones are the ones that sell better, but a lot of it's sizing. This is a big and tall size. Probably the only reason why it sold for what it did. It's going to Caddyshack Circle. That's the road he lives on. Yeah, you take a right on Caddyshack. My house is on the Circle end. It's kind of funny. Let's see. No one design says, yeah, Texas correct. Yeah, he's been doing it for 30 years. He's an older guy. And then the women that work for him, they're really knowledgeable. One's like a wizard with QuickBooks, man. She gets on me because I don't reconcile my QuickBooks, but I keep telling her I don't know what reconcile means. So, and she makes it sound easy, but I don't want to do any of that. I'm hey, I'm paying you guys, do all of it. Just take the numbers I give you, and there you go. This is a good one too. So you see the elastic waist. This is the Wrangler cargo shorts. These sell in all different sizes, all different colors. This one's a 32 waist. It sold for $9.01 plus $8.99. So he's all in for what is that? $18. Is that right? 18? 1, 9, 18. Yeah. And these sell all the time. They're really easy to. A lot of people pass them up. They're just, I guess, a real comfortable cargo short for people. Brett says the new video is fine. Awesome. AJ Morato says, when do you do your YouTube lives? So I try to do them at 1 p.m. on Saturday or Sunday. And I usually post on Instagram what day I'm going. most of the time it's going to be, let me think. Ideally, it would be Sundays, and then at 1 p.m. And then during football season, it'll be on Saturdays, 1 p.m. That is what I'm doing. I should put the post on YouTube, but I haven't looked into how to do that yet. Like, like a post says, hey, I'm going live today at 1 or whatever. So I'll get around to doing that one day. I'm really trying to grow. There's 59 people in here, 32 thumbs up. Thank you guys. I have a Taylor Exchange Facebook business page that I'm trying to grow. If you guys don't mind following and liking that page, even if one of you does it, it'll really help because I have like 13 followers and I need to grow the page up so Facebook sees that, hey, this guy's important. Please show my stuff to people in my town so I can start developing a way to buy clothes from people. So, I mean, I'm going to say that once each live. It's 55 minutes in, but like, I'm sure some of you guys might go over there and do it. Facebook's just a different platform, man. It's not like Instagram. I mean, it is Instagram, right? It's Meta, but it's different. I don't know. It's very hard. I got to figure out how to grow it because I got to reach people in my town who may not be social media savvy. And it'd be nice to direct them to a page. Like, it's good having a business card, right? Because it shows a bit of authority. Like, I have a business card. But when you're like, yeah, also go to my page, you can see all this stuff. Like, when I tell people I have a YouTube channel now, it's much different than when I had like 300 subscribers. Like, people are like, oh, sure, you got a YouTube channel. Like, when you have a lot of people that are kind of like rooting you on and following, it gives you just so much more authority, and people kind of listen. They're like, oh, okay, he kind of knows what he's talking about. It's just so I'm trying to do that for my Facebook business page. It's Taylor Exchange. The higher standard. I'm very aggressive on tax deductions and write-offs. If the IRS gets upset with me, I'll fight them. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's like, I guess, hey, I love a fighter, man. I'll say I love a fighter. The way I look at it though is like, you're playing Monopoly and you're trying to fight the bank, like they're always going to have more, but hey, I mean, I get it, dude. I get it. You work hard. You want to keep all the money. I understand. Man. James Steiner, how many items do you have in your store right now? I think like 4,800. I think 4,800 items. Let me take this bag off this one. This is a big and tall polo, and I think it's right at the pound. It sold for $12.99 plus $8.99. So that is the max money for that shirt that I get, because it's really worn. It's not like a brand new Ralph Lauren. It's a worn, like faded one, and it's not the soft one either. So $21 is the full price I usually get. I'll even take less, but I'm trying to get away from like really washed. You see how this shirt is kind of washed? Like, it's been worn a lot. I'm trying to get out of buying Ralph Lauren's like that. They do sell, like, look, this one sold for $21, but the thrift stores are still pricing those up pretty high. They don't really price them down. So some stores do. But yeah, it's a tricky thing. This one's a cool one. It didn't sell for that much money, but it's like a vintage Nike tank top. It was made in USA. It's got like white in the front and blue and red on the sides, but it sold for $10 plus $8.99. So $18.99 for just a tank top. That's a really good price because tank tops are typically under $2 at the stores I go to. And I always go to the tank top section because any type of like athletic tank, Nike, Under Armour, like that stuff, even like the Vans, the Billabongs, the Quicksilvers, those types of tank tops do really well for me. And they take up like a little bit of space. They're easy to photograph. No One Design says, Accrued is keeping a list on every single piece in your inventory, and cash method is when you buy your inventory and it's not itemized. Okay, I do cash. Yeah, I do cash method. Thank you for that explanation. I'm glad that I can learn stuff from you guys. There's a lot of smart people out there in the world, and I am very thankful that there's smart people making me smarter, because trust me, I can use every bit. I'm good at some things, but there's a lot of things I don't understand and just don't even bother trying to. That's why I pay for help sometimes, This one's a Travis Matthew golf brand. Sold same price, 10 plus $8.99. Pretty easy seller. This one's a purple one though. I don't know. Do you guys sell a lot of purple? I sell a lot of purple stuff. It's a royal color, I think. Purple. Sin Mackie. You plan on getting as big as tech or kind of like a brick and mortar? I would never want to get that big, man. I think he has like that many items. The thing about it is it comes down to inventory, right? Like if I found somebody who could supply me with like 10,000 items a month and say I only had to pay like, let's just say 30,000, right? You pay $30,000 for 10,000 items and then you have the muscle to list all those items, or maybe that scale's a little too big, but you get what I'm saying, right? If you can get items that are able to sell and you can pump them out, I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, I definitely could get the space in my town. There's a lot of spaces in town that are affordable. You're talking like maybe even $1,200 a month rent or $1,000, and then you get like maybe 2,000 square feet of a brick and mortar. Like I saw one in town. I could probably do that. The thing is getting the inventory because I don't live near like big cities. People are like, they mentioned talk to people at the bins to get items for cheap. Like, yeah, it's all good and well to say that stuff, but to actually do it, like the logistics, the manpower, the driving, it's just a lot. So no, I don't really want a brick and mortar. No, the idea is I want a brick and mortar in the sense of like maybe just an office space that I can have a YouTube studio, but then people can come bring me a bag of clothes. I can process it real quick and give them some cash. And then I'll continue with this smaller scale selling. But I'm developing a second business. So this business is only going to be as big as it is. I don't know. Maybe I'll go to 10,000 items. That might be the cap, but yeah, that's no, I don't plan on getting that huge. It's not very fun. I don't find enough joy in it. I think. I mean, maybe he doesn't like doing it either, but it's definitely it's more profitable if you can get the items. I see how easy it could be if the items were here, Oh no, Vada Joe says Facebook link. I can't find it. Oh, you found it on my link tree. Yeah, so it's on my link tree. Sorry. Linktree Taylor Exchange Facebook business. Please like, follow, just do something to that page because I get like no views there. I'm not really posting. I'm going to start doing more reels though. It's just figuring out how to do it. My last reel did good. I think it got like 2,000 views on Instagram, and that's way better than my other ones had been. This is another purple shirt. This is the Beard McNutt, whatever brand it is, Murano Beard McNutt, and it's a linen, 100% linen, and it's purple. Sold for $11.19 plus $8.99 shipping. So pretty nice on the linen. Hey, Sean, you have almost 5,000 listings. Do you know your average turnover? Tech talks about 90 days being good and being on target. Let's see. I think I need to do like a video about like how long items stay in the store. I definitely sell a lot of items for like 75% off. It's like if I get 30 sales in one day, 10 of them are like sale items, maybe even like 12. And that's what he's talking about, like just churning them through the store. I think he even talked about delisting and like putting them in his brick and mortar to really flush them out for cheap. But I don't know, like it was steadily growing, and I noticed I was picking up some items that weren't selling fast. So this year I've been doing a better job of buying items that I know for sure will sell at some price point quickly. And then my monthly sales are like 40% off. I switched it from 25, 50, 75 to 40, 60, 75 to just really start blowing stuff out, because you get some, even if it's a little profit, if you're pushing a lot out, like you'll get a lot of money. But yeah, I mean, 90 days is kind of about right. Like I know I have items that are older than that for sure, but it's getting better. It's getting better. But also I do a lot of long sleeve button shirts, and they sit for a little bit longer, I think, than like some other shirts. So this one is the Roundtree and York Performance Polo. This is a 3XB. Roundtree and York Performance. A lot of people sleep on it. This sold for $8 plus $8.99. So you're looking at $16.99 for an item that I paid like, probably $1 for. A lot of them I get at yard sales for $1. I don't go to many yard sales, but even the thrift stores will price them kind of low too, because Roundtree's just not. Roundtree just doesn't say money, like some of these other brands. But people, big guys need to find shirts too, man. No One Design says purple's on trend for women's as well. Yeah, not a women's seller anymore. Just an aside, my Texas thrift has gone insane. Crazy high on pricing in the last 1 to 2 weeks. Yeah. Texas thrifts and like Thrift Giants and all that stuff. Yeah, they went up in price. I actually talked to the it's what's it called? Texas. Okay, so there's like the Thrift Worlds, I think. The Thrift World of Dallas, Texas Giant, Texas Thrifts, those types of places. I talked to the regional manager at I just thought of Michael Scott for some reason, regional manager. I talked to, maybe she's the district manager. She's in charge of like 4 stores in like that area, I think. Yeah, I think she's in charge of it. And the reason I talked to her was there was some new with tags shorts. They were the Oakley shorts. They were the hybrids. And they wanted $6.99 for all of them, and they were new with tags, and they were all the same size, all the same color. And I was like, all right, this is cool. Well, then they had some for $9.99, I think, and they were blue, and it was the same type of short. So I said, hey, if you take those $9.99s and put them at $6.99s, I was like, I'll buy all of them, because I think I bought 15 of the one at $6.99. And she said, I can't change the price. They have to stay at the price. And I said, well, why is that? She goes, well, there is, I think she said 15 stores or something like that. And she says that it's such a big corporation that they have the owner, the top person. Then they have the board of directors that are probably like, I don't know if you'd put them next to that owner, but she said the owner could not even go in and mark it down. She goes, whatever gets marked at by the ladies in the back, that's what it has to sell at, because there's so many people relying on the profit from those numbers. And I was kind of thinking like, then can you tell the ladies in the back to mark it down? Like, because they cross them out and run sales, but it's a little more technical with how they do it. And the reason for the pricing is like they've been doing more half off days. So like you have your federal holidays, they do like all types of holidays, and they do 50% off. They're doing them about twice a month. And I think they're finding that the casual shopper's okay spending X amount of dollars on a pair of jeans. Like a lot of the jeans are at 12, 15, 20, even $40 for like area and stuff like that. The average shopper is spending that, but the reseller's not. But then on half off, like I would spend, 15, 20 bucks on a pair of jeans if I knew it was going to sell for 50 or 70. So I think they just changed their model up, and that's the problem we're seeing. She was very insightful, and she wanted to help. She's just like, look, I really can't. She really broke it down and kind of told me about some things. This is a Lululemon or Lululemon, as I've said once before. Sold for 15 plus $8.99, so that's right at 24 bucks for this shirt. It's just a white one. I found one that fit me, and I didn't really like how it felt. Call me crazy. I didn't like how it felt. Maybe the pants. I did find a pair of pants in my local stores, a pair of black pants. If those are my size, I'll try them on, but I think they're extra larges or something. Okay, let's see. If you find purple paisley pattern for shirts from No One Designs, yeah, purple paisley's in all the time, dude. There's a lot of honky tonks in Texas that people like wearing the paisley. If you're going to dance, you want to show out, not just with. And if you can't dance, the better your shirt, that'll probably just carry you alone, So it's like that peacocking, right? Cinemaki. Tech does wholesale, buy from him, laugh out loud. Also, you part of Daily Refinement's Patreon? No. I watched a lot of Chris and Tech's podcast, the free stuff, but no, I've never paid for any of that. And I don't like the idea of buying wholesale from somebody. I think it's kind of like a sucker bet. So they sell for high price tag. Oh, you're talking about the paisley stuff? Okay. Air E-Ot. Anything men's, 30 bucks, easy. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Ariat. It's actually Ariat, right? Ariat. Yeah, not Ariat. People get on me for saying Ariat. It's Ariat. Yeah, no, Ariat is a good brand for sure. Their tops, I think their button ups used to do better. They're going a little lower in price. Like I get I definitely get 25 for a lot of them, but some of the stuff like the Pro Series can do pretty good, the long sleeves. Our Goodwill had crazy prices, but they just lowered the prices and made every item of the clothing the same price. Luckily, not too many resellers. What Goodwill are you talking about? I might have to fly out and go buy up all your stuff. That's cool, man. And my friend Brian, he's a big advocate of like big advocate. It doesn't even make sense. He keeps reminding because I keep telling him how this business is kind of going away, and he says it's just going to shift. He's like, eventually the stores will have to lower the price because people won't buy them. And there are the people that I see in the stores, and they say, I would just buy this new. Like, why would I buy it for 50% of retail? Like, they'll just buy it new. Because there is a big difference between putting on a new item and a used item. It feels a little bit new. I mean, it feels new. So I put on a new jacket. It was a Roan zip jacket. It was a black one, and I put it on in that Marshalls I was at. It was $40. I was looking like they had I think they had some Roan flannels. I don't know. And I put it on though, and it felt really clean and nice and new. And I was like, am I going to spend $40 on this jacket? And then I thought of all the jackets that I have that I spent $5 on. And I said, there's no way I'm spending $40 on that. Like, I'd rather spend $40 on Venoms. Who are you kidding? You know? I don't know what shirt that was. Oh, it was a Tommy Bahama. Did not sell for much. It didn't have any floral on it. It was just a beige shirt, but it was silk. This is an O'Neill. This is the Hyper Freak. It's got some stripes on it. Sold for 15 plus shipping. So that's why I always go about $4 or $5 on those. And yeah, they sell for about 24, the good ones, you know. And Hyper Freak's a good keyword and good model for the O'Neills. And some of the vintage stuff, like there's some Volcoms that are a bit older. They sell pretty good. But yeah, board shorts are an easy seller, but sometimes you buy a bunch and you don't sell them all, so you kind of got to wait. Oh, real quick, 72 people, 41 likes. Appreciate it. Does anyone have the NFL Sunday ticket on YouTube? Because my dad and I are huge Bears fans, and he got the ticket right, but he doesn't have YouTube Premium and he doesn't have YouTube Base Pay or whatever it's called. He just got the Sunday package, and it doesn't show any splash screen like saying like this is where you'll go to watch it. So he's unsure if he actually has it. And I was like, so I helped him get his Google account hooked up with his TV with YouTube and all that stuff. I did that this morning, and then I said, look, shows that it's here. Because you know when you get the code for your phone, like to authenticate, his was turned off. So he wasn't able to do it. So I had to do it a different way. Anyway, if anyone has NFL Sunday ticket and they've got it already, let me know what it looks like. If it just says like on the like online side says that you paid for it, but doesn't show any like this is the waiting area for the first game on, you know, I think it's September 10th or something, 9th or 10th. Please let me know. My dad will be very happy because he's just so nervous that he's going to miss the first game. It's expensive too. They gave $100 off, but like it's going to be like $4 something. I think he paid $3 something this year. So I'm probably going to shell out like probably $100. So I watch all the games there too. And I drink his beer. I drink his beers occasionally. But I've kind of switched though. Like when I watch games, sometimes I just take like shots. I had like some Hennessy last year. I'll just take like I was doing Irish or Boilermakers because Irish Car Bomb I get is kind of like offensive. I didn't know it was. I just thought it was a cool name, but yeah, I kind of understand why it might be. But anyway, Boilermakers, I was taking some of those, and I just feel like the beer bloats you up a lot. But I used to drink on these shows. Back on when I'd go on other people's shows, like when I first started, I would drink, and man, not a good combination. YouTube and drinking. You think I talk a lot now? Like, wait till you throw some beers down. Okay. PK Zink says average Levi's $13 to $15. I would not. Yeah, not very confident spending 15 on Levi unless it's something special. This is a Adidas Golf Chino. It's a black one, and it's one of their older styles, but it sold for $7. So it sold for like 16 shipped. So yeah, these items just they just make a little bit of money. I just do a lot of them. Lisa and friends, does anyone here also do the end and sell similar on slow moving items to boost the algorithm? No One Design says every 60 days. I've never done it. I do not, but I hear it's a thing. hear people are doing it. I hear people do it. I don't know. Not sure if it's vintage is a great name because I'm that way a lot. Hi, Sean. How's it going? You have another business you're building? Get it going while you're young. Quit selling those nickel bags. Quit selling those nickel bags. Yeah, no, I know. The thing is, man, it's yeah, I get it. But I mean, it's working though, right? Like it's working. This is a cool pair. This is Nike Golf. It's like blue plaid. Pretty sweet. Sold for $13.99 plus $8.99. The thing about it is people always say like sell higher dollar items. I can't find higher dollar items. Like I would sell them if I could find them. Okay. The reason I know a lot about low profit items is because I live in a town where people buy like cheaper clothes. So I researched all of them and tried to figure out what sells. And then I go to the bigger cities and I find them like more of them. And then I do find some more expensive stuff, but I just don't find it. Like I wish I could. I wish I could get like you're buying wholesale. Guess what? You're probably going to buy the same stuff I'm buying for like maybe even a little more money. So it's a tough world. But yeah, the other business is it's a lot to learn for sure. But I think I'll figure it out. And when I do, and whenever I'm like a king, not a king, but like whenever I'm I don't know about okay with people copying it, but like I don't know if it's going to be that copyable. It might be. I don't know if I'll talk about it on YouTube, though. I'm not sure. Anthony Borateri. Do you think liquidation pallets and bales are a good source for jeans? I don't know. I've never bought them, man. I think Hustle and Hooks had big pallets of stuff. I mean, I think Daily Refinements buys pallets of stuff. I mean, you could try it, but man, if you don't have like the money and you try it and it's bad, like you're gonna be behind for a little bit, you know. At least I would be. My thing is, why would somebody sell a bunch of good stuff for cheap? You know, probably sell a bunch of bad to average stuff for cheap, but like, wouldn't that person that's doing that like get the most money for the other stuff first? But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'm just a guy in my room packing up nickel bags. Selling those nickel bags. Does he mean the clear bags? Should I not be buying the clear bags? Let's see. PK Zinc, right. The casual brick and mortar store shopper apparently doesn't mind paying those higher prices because I noticed a few days later, many of those crazy high sprint G's are gone. Yeah, and I mean like, I don't know what a brand new pair of Levi goes for, but it's probably like 40 plus. So if you can find one for 15, that's a deal, man. That is a deal all day. Thrift stores may not get all the brands right, but they know how to do some stuff. They wouldn't be in business that long if they didn't know how to make their money. This one is a vintage Wrangler Pearl Snap. It's this nice green. Some of the vintage stuff has like good fading to it. And, you know, it'll say some of it's made in USA. So we're going to pack this one up. It sold for $13.99 plus $8.99 shipping. And Wrangler, like this type of stuff, Western shirts, I get a lot of. And I usually buy most of them because I see them all the time. They sell pretty frequently. Take that there. And let's get this label. Did you guys like the last video I put out with me just talking? Can I put out 10-minute videos of me just talking about like eBay experiences? I tried. What I was going to do was so there's a way you can screen record on your phone and then pop it up on the screen, like right here in this column or right here on this column. And I was going to go through my YouTube channel. And as I was remembering what I was doing around that time, I was going to explain, hey, this is what I was selling. I had my spreadsheet set up, and that's the one where the audio didn't come out right. So I wasted a bunch of time, and then I wanted to get a video out yesterday or 2 days ago. So I said, let me just talk to you guys and explain like what I was going through mentally as I was looking at my old spreadsheets and stuff. And it performed pretty well. I mean, a lot of people watched it. So, and I think it's good I think those videos are going to be the strongest when it comes to my son looking at how I was at this age and my grandson, you know, whoever, like granddaughter, I guess. So like they can see my thought processes, the struggles, like not everything's been great. But I do believe that like hard work prevails over like, and I don't want to call it bad luck. It's just life. Like, they say life happens or whatever. Like things don't always go right. The idea is to be better so that things usually go right. Flip It Good. Hello. Finally catching your live. Been watching your videos. Thank you, Flip It Good. I appreciate it. 45 likes. Very much so appreciative of the views. I like, giving people some advice or whatever. And I made money watching YouTubers. I want people to make money watching me. So that's the idea. We did have one super chat. I wonder if I can like pop out the super chat. Let's see. Put user in timeout, add as a moderator, hide, go to channel, report, remove. Okay, so I didn't, there's got to be a way to operate YouTube chat better that I don't know. But till then, very appreciative of the people that watch and comment and like and ask questions. And one gentleman, he sent me a big long message on the last video about like what he's been through, like going to college, not being happy with his degree, having a job paying, I think it was $49K out of college, that's a pretty good wage, but maybe he didn't think that was enough or it wasn't in his field. He gave me all this stuff and I read it a couple times and I was like, I didn't want to just, I joked with my wife and I said, look, this guy wrote like a novel pretty much. I was like, should I respond with hags? Like, have a great summer. And I would never do that, but like, I thought it would be kind of funny. But it really showed me that somebody like heard what I said, and then they thought really deeply about what they'd been through, and then they even went as far as putting their hands on the keyboard and like expressing themselves through text, what they went through. And I thought that was very, very special. It made me feel really good inside. And I tried to respond in tow, like back, but it was like really late in my, I wasn't in front of my laptop in my comfortable office. I was on the road with my family at my in-laws, and I think I did a decent enough job responding, but yeah, it's tough to give it my best for each comment. I try. The higher standards. I work in Boca Raton, high price community where social conscious makes people donate their good stuff. Oh my gosh, interesting. And that's the one with the cheap Goodwill with the clothes the same price. That's cool. A social conscious to make them donate. I'm trying to make the social contents like sell your clothes to me. I will donate I will give you cash to get a tank of gas. Ooh, that might be good. I'll give you cash for a tank of gas. But like gas prices that could probably bankrupt me though. I'm like, this won't pay for a tank. This will only pay for 3 gallons, 6 gallons. My truck's a 40-gallon tank. I can't fill up with this. There are some big trucks in my town, dude. Big trucks. You want to talk about like, have you seen Roadhouse? Was it Patrick Swayze, Roadhouse? And those guys like the goons, the rich people, whatever. They got the big jacked up trucks. Like that's kind of how it is sometimes around here. Big old trucks. Anthony Bottieri started learning about cufflinks. Guess some can go for good money. Ah, okay. That's interesting. Cufflinks. Where do you find them? Is it in the jewelry section? The jewelry. This is a Ralph Lauren sold for $11.19 plus $8.99. So like $20 on the Ralph Laurens. Is where I usually am, unless they're really cool. PK Zink got my first Roan patchwork multicolored pants last week, but we think they're knockoffs. Very little info, tags, and size. We'll probably just put them on Poshmark, not on eBay, to avoid a Vero. Yeah, that sucks, man. I didn't know Roan made pants. I guess they do. I don't think I've come across Roan pants just yet. Roan's a cool one, though. I like their logo. Okay, let me get this one. 122.08. This is a Roar black long sleeve. It's got like the cross type stuff. Real crazy on it. Went for $25 plus $8.99 shipping for the Roar. And there's like a couple roars, I think. There's one that's like not that good. And then there's like one that is better, and this is a better one. Put this on. It's 2:24. We've been on for an hour and a half. So getting close to the time I wanted to be done, but maybe we'll go 2 hours. I got like 6 more to pack. 6 more to pack. No One Designs too. My Goodwill sells all hoodies, shorts, chinos, t-shirts, trainers, windbreakers for $1.68 and all button up. Oh my gosh. All button up pants, jeans, polos for $3.68. Doesn't matter the brand. Well, there's your wholesale right there, man. That's really good prices, dude. I wonder how many good brands are there though. Like, is it a poorer city? I wonder. That seems tremendous, man. Really good. Mine used to be pretty good like that, and then they like just bumped up a dollar on everything, I think. This was an Oakley. Oakley polos, I don't do that great on them. It had a weird embroidery on it, and I just took some money to get my money back. Went for like 13 ships, so definitely not good. But I didn't want to like keep it because the embroidery just wasn't. It was kind of weird looking. But I think it was cheap. A lot of times these items that I sell for really cheap, I usually get them cheap because they're not good enough for me to like pay what I would normally pay. But I don't really keep track of it because I just put like how much I spent at the thrift store, like goes onto the credit card and goes to the QuickBooks and just gets logged. But I don't itemize, I guess, like we were talking before, accrued cash or accrued method. So never again Oakley polo with the weird embroidery. Use the model that works where you're at. Yeah, Troy, that's pretty much what you got to do. And I know a lot of people are like, I can't get them for this cheap. It's like, well, you're going to have to do something different, like find better items or find. It's like I drive to where there's more items. Maybe people need to drive where they're cheaper, you know. True, good points. All new to me, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot to learn, man. It's a lot of easy stuff to learn, but there's definitely a lot to learn. So yeah, this is a prime example. This is one of the Wrangler ones from Walmart. It sold for $9.09 plus $8.99 shipping. So they're right at like, $18. But these sell, I buy them for like $3. So I think brand new they sell for like, 15 or 20. And this was a 2XL red plaid. Like the cooler the plaid looks, like that's going to help a lot because people want to look cool. People want to look cool when they buy and wear clothes. I just try to wear clothes that doesn't have any spit up on it because my son spits his milk up a lot. So those are the clothes I'm trying to wear. My local chain has 48-cent days each week. I load up once a week. My average selling price is $16.30. Quantity versus quality. There you go. That's the model that's working for you. That's good, man. Wow. What a day, man. I bet I would feel like a king going there. I talked in the beginning of the show about roundups. This Goodwill got onto me because they were like, I believe in rounding up for our program. And I'm like, I've spent thousands of dollars at Goodwill, like $10,000 or more. And they wanted me to round up 7 cents. And I'm like, dude, I don't round up because they claim that money doesn't go to their programs, which might be true, but maybe they need to start getting some of that money for the programs. And then when people say like, the money you spend at Goodwill keeps the lights on and pays the employees, like that's true. But guess what? The money they're getting for those is way higher than what it costs to pay somebody minimum wage, and pay someone disabled who knows what that pay looks like. I don't know, man. I really don't like how they come off and I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like it's that good, All right, let's bag this polo up. Great Deals Depot. Well, hello, sir. How do you do? Top of the morning. Welcome. Glad you guys are coming and hanging out, man. It definitely makes me feel appreciated. Makes me feel like I got, people that want to hang out and listen, and maybe they're working. Maybe if it helps you get through your work day, that's good too, man. Because I know what it's like. What's up, bro? How's the employee doing? Flippin' Junior, she is amazing. She really is. I'd put her on payroll. So I start people off at a cash price. And then if I think they're going to be an employee, which this is only my second one, I give them a raise and then they go on payroll. And then once she's on payroll, if she goes a full year, if she's still working this time next year, then I'm going to, I'll give her the day offs for federal holidays. And it may be 50% pay with the day off. But then like on her birthday, Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm doing 3 paid days, like her average work shift, which maybe it's 4 hours or whatever. I'll do 3 paid days around there after she's worked a year, and I'll give her a raise at that year mark because I believe at that point I should be making a lot of money to support that. The problem is I don't want to like pay her too much, and then when I say, hey, you're full time, but I can't pay what you were making part time because it's just very hard to make that transition. So she's doing really well though. She's learning the things. I want to get her to like come source and like learn how to do that too. But ideally, I'm trying to just carbon copy myself so that I can work my other businesses, work YouTube more, and have her just ideally ship for me so I can take trips. Like I'd love to go to Houston for like 3 or 4 days to source because Houston's where it's at. They have a lot of stores. I mean, Houston, it's the 4th biggest city in the country. It's like 2.2 million people. Dallas is like 1.2 million people. Let's see. Eric's asking, what's the other business? It's just it's like a social type business. It's pretty much affiliate marketing if you want to know. It's affiliate marketing with shoppable videos, but it's very challenging because you can make a video and then get bumped off and then you don't get money for that video anymore. No one designs. The brands I find for my bread and butter are Untuckeds, Johnny-O, Travis Matthew, Tommy, Bahamas, Carhartts, Lululemons, Icebreakers, Columbia's. I've never heard of Icebreakers. Yeah. And see, that's different because like Wrangler is kind of one of my bread and butters. And you didn't even say Ralph Lauren. Like I sell 20% of my store is Ralph Lauren. So it's so different when where you live, you know, like with what you find. And maybe you just forgot to put that in there, which is understandable. But yeah. All right, we got 2 more to go. Get your questions in if you have any. Great Deals Depot. My wife works for the Goodwill. I actually do not buy there, but should. Whoa, that's cool. Maybe she could stash the good items for you. Don't do that. Don't jeopardize your job. But I mean, think about it. Just do not ever forget her birthday. Coming from a director of operations guy. Ah, forget her birthday. Well, honestly, don't know when her birthday is. I think she mentioned it. We've talked a little bit, but second that GDD. Ah, I see. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Don't forget people's birthdays. Maybe I'll make her fill out a flyer or something or like a questionnaire. I didn't even really do, I mean, I did a little bit of an interview, but it wasn't really formal or anything. Like I didn't have her fill out anything. Like you're supposed to do an I-9 to make sure they're a legal resident, but she works for a franchise that would have already done that. So I didn't feel the need to do that. I just had her do the W-4, which I guess would have her birthday. Maybe. Does it have her birthday? I'll check. Maybe it does. Should I get her like a cupcake or something? I like that. She listens to like classic rock and like that type of music. So that's kind of cool. 240 Jay-Z says, Taylor, I got a jean jacket that is vintage. I don't know if it's vintage. That's cool though. Jean jackets are in right now. All right, this is another one of the Ralph Lauren's. This is pleated pant in gray. Sold for like $19 shipped. Yeah, see, no one designed to says I'd never pick up any Ralph Lauren Wranglers. And then Wranglers you only pick up if it's Wrangler rigs, if it's new with tags. See, that's the thing. It's like, that's good. But I mean, it's like, I don't know. That's crazy to me because I sell so much of it. But at the same time, like if you're selling a lot, then you're obviously doing something right. So it's tough to see what other people do and like compare yourself because maybe you don't see enough of it or just don't want to waste your time with it. That too. I thought that jean jackets would be vintage since they're 90s. Now, there's a lot of fast fashion that recreates vintage or tries to create vintage looks. So you got to definitely know. Like, I wouldn't list it unless you knew for sure. Not all jean jackets are vintage. No, like Fashion Nova, there's a lot of them that come out with stuff that has that vintage look. That's just like not vintage. Okay, hour and 35. I guess we almost made it. I kind of like zoomed that last 6 though. Sandra P, have her fill out a favorite form. It would be favorite drinks, candy, stores, food. Oh, that's pretty good. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. That's a good idea. If I live in your area, then yes, my business model would be sourcing inventory. That would be different. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Cool. All right, to the 65 people out, I salute you. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video. I don't know what it's going to be about. Oh, it's going to be my best sales of the week. So I'm going to do a little bit better on that. Let's see. AG Morales says, when do your polyblags and flat rate? What do you do? I don't know, man. Shipping's $8.99 on all items, so hopefully that helps. Yeah. I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Bye.